always yoga time, right? It's always a good time to do yoga. Or as they say, you're only one yoga class away from a good mood. So come onto your mats, have a seat back on your heels in child's pose. Move your knees apart and send your hips to your heels and let everything just settle in towards the center. And if you're dealing with any injuries or anything going on in your body, if you're not sure and you want to ask or you need to modify, there's always modification. So you can have your arms outstretched or by your side. Start to breathe in slowly through the nose, empty out through the nose. And expand belly, ribs, chest, from side to side and top to bottom. Reach the arms out in front of you a little bit further. They don't have to be straight, locked. Just out a little bit more, just to feel a little breath underneath the arms. And you're pressing kind of firmly into the top of the foot and the shin to give you a little bit of information into that area. And a little stability. Now begin to stretch your arms all the way out in front of you and lift everything but your finger pads off the floor. So your heel of your hand is up, you're like attentive finger. Shoulders pull back and down, breathe again, side to side, top to bottom. And then walk your hands over to the right side. And then allow the palms to come back down and reach a little bit longer with your left arm than your right. And breathe underneath the arm again, just getting some good release. Take your right arm and bring it underneath your left arm. Flip the palm up to the sky and just turn your ear towards the right side of the mat. And some of you will, be able to get your head a little bit lower, need to be a little bit higher. It's all good. Yeah, now flip your right palm down. Tent both fingers again. And just move your left arm to the left side, right arm a little bit longer than the right, left again. So now the right arm is reaching out, you're looking under the arm perhaps, or just down to the floor. Press the palms down this time, and take your left arm underneath your right, turn the palm up to the sky, and then see if you can bring your left ear towards the floor. No force. Good, and then turn your left palm down. Bring your right arm forward, bring your left arm forward. Stretch your arms all the way out in front of you. Place your forearms on the floor this time. Bring your arms together, palms together. And let your head rest on the floor as the arms come behind the nape of the neck. A nice release to the back of the arms. And a nice little option to set prayer to your practice this morning. And think of something that you'd like to share with yourself, with others, in this practice today. Good. Inhale, reach your arms out in front of you. And walk your hands back in. Come to sit on your heels or take a block in between your two sides. If you're on a block, bring your ankles towards the block. And your knees can be wide or close. Hi, Cindy, and whoever else is on. I can't see that far. So we're either sitting on our heels or on a block. Hi, Barbara. Hi, good morning. Good morning. We're just sitting on a block now with our legs behind us. And I'm going to just add you to mute. If you have any questions, you can unmute. All right. Good. So, sitting in, there's many names for these poses. Sometimes I leave them out because other people call them different things and I don't want you to be confused. But bring your palms upward on your thighs, and then just place your dominant hand on top of your less dominant hand. Grow tall through the spine on the inhale. Find some space. Drop the shoulders down, broaden the collarbones. Have your chin parallel to the floor. No tension in the neck. And then take your right arm out to the side and sweep it up overhead. Grab a hold of the left ear and allow your right ear to press towards the shoulder. Take your left arm reach out to the side, off the floor, flex the wrists, so it's like you're pushing away, and just find a little bit more release. Bring the left arm down to the floor, bring the right, or the chin to the right shoulder. And then release both hands. Turn your chin to the center, take your arms behind you, interlace your fingers, palms together, knuckles down, and then lift your heart open. Some of you will have your elbows even touching. If you need to, you can use a strap for others. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way overhead, touch in prayer. Exhale, bring the prayer down to your heart. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, stretch your left arm up and over. Take a hold of your right side of your head or your ear and bring your left ear towards your shoulder. Take your right arm and creep it out until it's off the floor. Flex the wrists. And then release the right arm down. Bring the chin to the left shoulder. Release the arms, bring the chin to the center, interlace your fingers the other way, behind your back, knuckles down, chest lifts, heart opens. Gaze up with your eyes more than your neck. Exhale, bring the arms up overhead on this inhale. And then just take a simple twist, left arm outside Hyson, outside right thigh, breathe, inhale. And exhale. Drop the left shoulder down. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, take a twist outside the left thigh. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hands in front of you. Walk all the way out. You're in child's pose and you're either on the block or you're on your heels. Inhale, come to your tabletop position. Now you can move your block to the side. If you need any padding under your knees, take something under your knees. Towels work great. I have a yoga mat pad. Hands under shoulders, hips under knees, no knees under hips. Shoulders and hips width apart. Top of your feet, chin down, pressing down. Dip your belly down and broaden your collarbones. Really broaden, kind of wag your tail from side to side. And then come back to center. Round your back, bring the tailbone underneath you, push the earth away, let your head hang down, chin to your chest. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round and curl. A couple rounds of cat and cow here. Inhale, tuck your toes if you'd like, stretch out the bottoms of your feet. Move your way through a couple more cat and cows using your breath. Inhale, drops the belly. Exhale, rounds the spine. We're going to do this a couple more times. And then we're going to find a neutral position on your next inhale. Come back to center. Step your right leg back. Step your left arm forward. Keep your right foot on the floor for now, but press firmly into the left foot shin. Reaching in two directions, forward and back. Good. Take the left arm to the floor and just spin onto your left side, right arm up. Foot is still down on the floor. Right arm will stretch up and over your head. Reach out and away from your fingertips to toe tips. Lift the left side of your body up and in. Inhale, right arm down, spin it back around to the center. Right toes are still on the floor. Step your left toes to meet them. Plank pose, shoulders over wrists. And then lift your hips, downward facing dog. Good, bend one knee then the other. And you know that you can make this as vigorous or as relaxed as you need to do this entire class. So you can choose to stay on your knees for child's pose or stay in your downward dog. You can choose to fly through things, or you can choose to stay grounded. You choose. Lift up onto your tippy toes. Shift back into that plank where knees are on the floor, shoulders back, collarbones broaden. Good. Right knee to the floor. Left toe stay on the floor. Right arm reaches out. So you're trying to keep the hips level so the shoulders are level as well. Fingers reach forward, toes are pushing down into the mat. Inhale, right arm comes down, we spin onto the right side. Left toes are still on the floor, left arm is up. Lifting up from the right side of the torso, take the left arm up and over your head. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath. Good. Exhale, bring the left hand down. Square off your body so your left toes are still tucked under. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Top of a plank push-up. Breathe in, shoulders just above the wrist. Knees are lifted, belly is lifted. And then float the hips up into the air. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come on your tippy toes. Shift back into your plank position, shoulders over wrists, everything strong. Resist the earth, drop the tailbone in line with your hips. Shift forward a little bit of your wrist, lower your knees to the floor, and lay your belly all the way on the floor. So coming down, let's move this off to the side. Hands are by your chest. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Push the top of the foot shin down. Hug the elbows towards the ribs and lift your chest up. So no pressure in your hands. In fact, let's go ahead and lift the hands up so you know that your back is doing the work here. Pushing your pubic bone down to the earth. Squeeze the elbows and crown of the head forward. And then exhale, the hands come down, head, chest come down. And walk your hands back a little bit closer to your ribs and keep your elbows on top of your wrists. Press down firmly through the tops of your feet. Lift your knees up. And then begin to lift your torso all the way up. Thighs come off the floor and you're resting on your pedicure. Pull your heart through, pull your shoulders back. Exhale, hips in the air, downward facing dog. Breathe down the sides of your body, under the arms, from the back of the hips, all the way down. Inhale and exhale. Come up onto your tippy toes high. Bend your knees, look towards the front of your mat, and walk your feet to your hands. Come to the front of the mat, halfway lift, fingertips on the floor, the shins or the blocks. I'm just moving things around so you can see I'm using the blocks, they're right by my feet. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Your weight, so your hips come over your heels, so the weight's slightly forward as opposed to bringing the knees behind your hips. And so bend in the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, take your hands to your hips or your heart. Press down to rise all the way up. And then release your arms down by your side. Well, I have a whole bunch of headless people, but I love you all. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way overhead. Fill up with energy, with prana. Exhale, open up and fold down to the floor. Hands on floor, shins, blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach your arms out and up. Press the arms overhead. This time, exhale, open up and twist to the right. Left arm outside right thigh. Right arm hugging behind you as far as it goes. But your hips are still facing forward. Inhale, float the arms all the way up. Exhale, take the same twist to the other side. As deep as you can make the twist or want to make the twist. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, open and forward fold, hands to floor, shins, blocks. Just getting some mobility through our hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down to rise up, bring the arms with you. Exhale, prayer to the heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, open up, fold. Inhale, rise up. Let's open it up again for the twist. Exhale, twist. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, up. Exhale, open fold. Let's stay in this forward fold for a few breaths. Head down. Inhale, halfway lift so your hands can be on the floor, shins or your blocks. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head go down. And now stay here. Put two fists in between your feet so you're measuring approximately the width of your hips. Stay in that and press evenly into your big toes, little toes, ball of the foot, heel of the foot. Grab opposite elbows, hinge forward and sway a little bit side to side. Let your head go, shake it out yes and shake it out no. And then stay centered for as long as you can. Switch this across the arms. And start to breathe again across the back spaces of the body, including, your upper back, mid back, but also the back spaces, the hamstrings, the back of the thighs. Take a breath as you release your hands to the floor of the blocks. Look forward, inhale, step your right foot all the way back. Let's start this first one on our knee. So if you need padding, again, put the pad under the knee, release the back foot, and just hinge forward. Left knee is over the ankle, so if your heel is lifting, you're a little bit too far forward. So you want to bring the heel a little bit more under the knee. And the back leg should be back far enough that you're not sitting on top of your patella, your kneecap. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Fold, toes up or down, hips are squared. Reach your arms forward or bring the blocks back on a higher level. So this is all very personal, what's going on in our bodies. Inhale, come forward. We'll do it a couple times, just shifting forward. And then straightening the legs. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, forward. Bring your hands on top of your thighs. And just push forward. I'm backing off a little bit. I'm always working with an injury, so I'm listening to my body. But I want you to keep your back hip low, hand on top of your thighs, and drop the hip underneath you. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Inhale, release your hands to the floor blocks. Tuck your right toes underneath you, lift the knee up. Stay low in your lunge. And then step to a downward dog, hips up in the air. Heels towards the floor. Inhale on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, take yourself all the way to the top of your mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then press down to rise all the way up. Bring the arms with you. Hands to your heart center, exhale, arms by your side. Inhale, bring the arms up. Fold down your way, hands to center, or a big swan dive outside, your choice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot all the way back. Lower the knee to the floor. So set it up again. So the knee is over the ankle on the right leg, and your left leg, your knee is behind your hip. Dropping the hips through the center, shoulders back, collarbones broad, and big toe presses in the right foot. You're firmly grounded into the floor, just like you were in standing in mountain pose. Good. One more breath here as you begin to straighten the front leg and choose where you want your blocks, what height you want your blocks, if you're using blocks, if you want to move your hands back. So these are your choices. Your body kind of lets you know where to go. Fold over your right shin, breathe, pull the right hip back, exhale. Inhale, rebend your knee, bring your heart forward. Exhale, straighten, and just work a couple times in and out of this pose. Just releasing the hips and stretching the hamstrings. And on your next forward movement, stay. Bring your hands on top of your thighs and lift yourself up. So I'm just going to stay a little bit lower today. Pull your shoulders back away from your ears. So, the blocks are great. They bring the floor to us. Your hands are on your thighs, and mine are on the blocks. And some of yours might be on the blocks too. And if you don't have blocks, quickly go on Amazon. You'll have them tomorrow. You'll have them by the end of the class. One more breath. Plant your hands back on the floor. Tuck your back toes underneath you. Lift the left knee up off the floor. Stay low in the hips. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up, in the air. Be careful you don't drag your knee pads with you. Inhale, rise on your toes. Bend your knees, look forward. Take yourself to the top of your mat. You can walk, jump, step, hop, fly. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Press down through your feet, rise up to stand, bring the arms with you. And exhale, bring the hands into your heart center. Release your arms by your side. Inhale, bring the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, take your hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to a high plank. Choose to go through push-ups, knees, or just downward facing dog. If you're coming down chaturanga, elbows in line with wrists, shoulders in line with elbows, lift your heart. If you're taking extra push-ups, go for it. Downward dog is where we meet. Press the heel of the hands down, breathe right down the sides of your body, right down the back of your body, and let your neck be loose and free. No tension. Inhale on your toes, bend your knees, take yourself to the top of your mat. How you get there is your choice. Halfway lift when you do. Exhale, forward fold. Press down to rise up, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the prayer to your heart center. Release the arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, your way to fold down to the floor, hands on floor, shins or blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, if you're stepping, step the other leg back first, high plank. Choose your way to downward facing dog with push-ups, 1, 2, 10, or meet in downward dog and skip the push-ups altogether. So I say in every class, you add, you take away, you change, you modify, you intensify, you modify. On your toes, bend your knees, look forward, take yourself to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down to rise up. Exhale, prayer to the heart center. Let's do that one more time. So your Namaskar A. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the floor, shins or your blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump to high plank. Inhale, shift forward, low plank, push up, chaturanga. Upward dog, lifting your heart up. Exhale, downward dog, and breathe. Stay with your feet to the back of the mat, have the toes close together. They can touch, they can be separated. Heels may or may not touch the floor in a downward facing dog. And then just lift the underarm energy up so that you're not collapsing into your shoulder blades and creating that, ski arch. Come high on your tippy toes and float your right leg in the air. Open your right hip up and lower your left heel down, but keep your shoulders square. So drop the right shoulder level to the left shoulder while the hips open up. Inhale, bring your right knee towards your chest as you shift into plank, and then step it through between your two hands. Have your blocks nearby. Turn your left foot on its side. It's traditional, might be heel to heel or heel to instep alignment, but you listen to your body. I take mine wider these days, which only means I have to adjust the leg at some point. So the right leg is wide enough that you can accommodate your hips being a little bit more forward. And then rise up, warrior one, bring the arms with you overhead. So your right knee is bent, your back foot is turned towards the front edge of your mat. And so your hips are not going to be perfectly square to the front. Back leg is firm, so the pinky side of that back foot is pressing into the earth, so the inner arch of the left foot is lifted, elevated. Breathe. Arms come up, they don't have to touch. And in fact, if your shoulders are tight, bring them a little bit more forward. One more breath. Sink a little bit lower, so your right thigh's a little more parallel. And now open to your left side. You're going to see my back a little bit. So you're facing to the left side of your mat, warrior two. Right knee hasn't changed. Maybe the back foot has adjusted a little bit. Knee over the ankle, reach in two directions. Make energy in your arms as if you were holding on to weights and you didn't want the arms to go down. So keep them nice and energetic. Inhale, release your left arm down, right arm comes up, still the legs aren't changing. Now move your left hand to your left hip and guide the left hip towards the right knee. So you're lifting up and out of your waistline, and yet the right leg hasn't changed. I know, it's tricky. Take another breath. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale back to warrior one. Make whatever adjustments you need on your back and front foot. Inhale, hands to the floor, turn your back foot forward, step into a plank, do your push-ups, or go right to downward facing dog. So these are options. Downward dog could even be a child's pose. And when you get back there, the feet come together at the back of the mat. Inhale on your toes, left leg goes high. Open the left knee and lower the right heel. Keep the shoulders square. Really lift the right underarm up and lower the left arm so your shoulders are level. Keep the knee bent, turn your hips forward. Left knee to your chest, come forward. Step it through between your two hands. Turn your back foot on its side. I want you to be able to see so that the toes are pointing almost towards the right corner of your mat. So it's not really forward, it's not really to the side. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Okay, so I'm adjusting my shoulders to face forward. The hips, this right hip is not going to be fully forward. But I mean, if you also need to be on the ball of the foot, you can be there. So warrior one, left knee bends, breathe in, breathe out. Lift your heart up, find some space. Keeping the knee exactly as it is, open to warrior two, face the right side of your mat. Knee over the ankle, in line with your hip, in line with the second, third toes. Back toes might have turned a little bit for you. Tailbone is underneath you, arms are holding weights. Stay with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Sink a little bit lower. Reach in all four directions, up, down, side to side. Inhale, right arm down, left arm up. Still the leg hasn't changed. That's it, beautiful. Put your right hand on your hip and guide it towards your left knee. So you just, oh, thanks, Siri. Lift out of your waistline. Siri likes to tell me when my exercise ring has closed. Inhale and exhale, and I really never understand what that means. Inhale back to your shoulders on top. Breathe, fingers out. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Spin your back foot forward. And choose your way to downward dog. Through a push-up or skipping it all together. Adding push-ups, and we'll all meet in downward dog. And so it doesn't matter how you get there. It's your journey, yeah? Doesn't matter what steps you take to get there, as many as you need. Inhale and exhale. Good. Bring your feet together if they're not. Inhale, float your right leg up, open the right hip. Exhale, bring your right foot all the way through. Turn your left foot on its side. Oh, I know I skipped something on that one. So breathe in, bring the arms up. We just missed one more opportunity to be in warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, back to warrior two. Now you get the opportunity to straighten your front leg. And then choose to bring your back foot in a little closer. Use your hands on blocks or on the floor thigh. Move your hips to the left, move your torso to the right. Right arm comes down, inside, outside, foot, shin, or block. And again, those of you at home might be seeing my back to the camera. So imagine that my back on the camera was against a wall, and I'm lifting up from the right side of my torso. Knees are lifted, nice and strong. Inhale. Triangle pose, exhale. Lifting firmly up through your waistline. Good. Inhale, we're going to reverse this with a straight leg. Bring your left hip back to your right hip. Again, so pushing the left hip. So your hips go a little bit more level in the pelvis, right? Or the pelvis. Inhale, come back. Find warrior two. So you might have to adjust your back foot if you shorten the stance. Inhale, reverse warrior two. Exhale, warrior two. Spin the back foot around to warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. So really, we're just going through a lot of warrior poses today. Bend the elbows. Lift your heart up. And downward facing dog. I mean, they're lunges at the end of the day. Bring your feet together, left leg in the air, open the hip. And exhale, step your left foot through. Turn your right foot on its side. Inhale, warrior one. Again, you could be wider or closer. It's all really up to your body. Inhale, warrior two. Adjust whatever footing you need to make. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale through warrior two. Begin to straighten your front leg. Move your hips. You can shorten your stance. Hand on a floor block or your shin. Right arm up as if you were leaning against a wall. Lift your knees up. Make them nice and strong. So don't dump your energy into your thighs, your legs, your arms. Keep everything lifted. If you moved your hands, your torso would stay the same. So think, are you holding onto your leg for support? Or are you, holding on for dear life? Or are you just touching down to kind of grace it a little bit? Take another breath. Look down as you inhale, reverse it with a straight leg. Good, bump your right hip towards your left. Inhale back to warrior two, exhale. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, warrior two, and we're going to spin it around. Warrior one, back foot turns forward. Strong, firm, pinky side of the foot is down. Exhale, hands down. Choose your way. Back to your downward facing dog, right? So that means you flow or you just go. We're going to keep working with this warrior flow. Bring your feet together. Inhale, float your right leg high, open the hip. Exhale, step through. Back foot turns, warrior one. Arms come up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two, straighten your front leg, inhale. Exhale, triangle pose. Right arm down, left arm up. Hips underneath you, and lift out of your waistline. Inhale, reverse all the way back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior. Exhale, warrior one. Turn your back foot forward and then spin into a crescent lunge. Good, so your back toes turn forward, your right hip is forward, arms are up, touching or not. And then hinge forward, bring your heart forward, hands to your heart. Option, I'm going to give you a bunch of options to put your hands on the floor or blocks, or simply keep your hands up and begin to float your left leg off the floor into a warrior three. Hips are square. So if you're floating off the floor, if you're supported on the floor, great, keep your hips squared. I'm going to do this one supported. Your leg is in line with your hip, your head is in line with your heel. Take another breath. Good. Inhale, step all the way back to the crescent lunge so the hips are forward. Bring your arms back up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor blocks. Step back your way into a downward dog. Downward dog too much? Child's pose. We'll lift up our hips. Feet come together. Inhale, left leg lifts up and opens out to the side. Kick it in, kick it out a couple times. Exhale, knee to the center, step it through all the way. Turn your right foot on its side. Inhale, warrior one, arms come up. Exhale, warrior two, arms extend. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. And exhale, triangle pose. We hold this just a couple of beats, right? Just to kind of get our form in its right place. Nice, nice, Barbara. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, spin the back foot forward, warrior one. Strong back leg. Exhale into crescent. Inhale, hands to your heart, hinge forward. And then you might have to take a couple of hops, yeah? Again, I'm going to show you on the blocks today. Lift your right leg off the floor, warrior three. Drop the right hip level to the left. Your left leg can be as bent as you need or want. Sometimes when it's more bent, we actually work more into our glutes. I won't say anything. Take another breath. Good. Wherever you are, we're going to step all the way back, generous step, into our crescent lunge. So the hips are square to the front of the mat now. Exhale, hands down. You know the flow. Take it or skip it. We'll meet in downward facing dog. So a simple, not so simple, warrior flow. Getting all of our, our warriors together today. So we're a strong army. Bring your feet together. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, open up the hip. Inhale, step it through. Exhale, turn the back foot on its side. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Just about 3, 2, and 1. Left arm down, right arm up. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, warrior two, and spin the back foot on its side. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, turn the back foot on its side, hands to your heart. Hinge forward, and again, choose to be supported or begin to fly the left leg off the floor. Breathe. 3, 2. Now listen, we're going to step back a little bit closer, a little bit shorter stance. So your right heel and your left heel are not really, they might not even meet each other. So wide enough, about hips width apart. Good. Hands are still at prayer. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Lift your knees up. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, float your arms out to the side. Make a T, thumbs up. And kind of like we did earlier in the class, hug your right hip in. Turn your torso to the right. Reach your left arm forward. Right arm back. Right hand to your hip. Left hand inside or outside of your foot, shin, or block. Outside is possibly a little bit more challenging. Stacking your shoulders as you rotate the torso, twisted triangle. Good. Once the shoulders are stacked, the right arm comes up. Good. Stack the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Good. If you find yourself, floating around, not being completely solid in the floor, it's normal, but think about pushing more weight into the right big toe as well. One more breath, find a little more space. Good. Exhale, hands onto the floor blocks and fold over your right leg. As you notice, the right hip pulling back and the left hip pulling forward. Inhale and exhale. Good. Pyramid pose, one more breath. Inhale, lengthen your spine, bend your front knee. Step your left foot all the way back. Bring your leg in the air, three-legged downward dog, right hip opens. And then take a downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Bring your feet closer together. Inhale on your toes, left leg lifts up, open up the hip, bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, step it through. Right foot turns on its side, warrior one, arms come all the way up. Exhale, warrior two, open up your hips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two, inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, bump your hips, triangle pose for 3, 2, 1. Good, straight leg, reverse it. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, spin it, warrior one, and then turn on your back foot, hands to your heart, hinge forward and decide to be supported or take flight, right leg off the floor. Breathe, hips square. Nice job. Oh, nice one, right like that, good. Airplane arms, great. Now, slowly, with thought, step your right foot back 2 to 3 feet as opposed to the fuller length of your lunge. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, open your arms to a T, thumbs up. Turn your torso to the left. Hinge forward. Right hand inside, outside, foot, shin, or block. If you are on a tightrope with your feet lined up one behind the other, you're not going to have the balance. So separate your legs wide enough. You have a wide enough base of support for balance. Left hand to your hip. Left arm up. Chin to your shoulder to gaze up or keep looking down. Firmly hug the legs in. Remember that back pinky toe is still pressing, as well as the big toe and the ball of the foot and heel on both feet. Keep looking for space in this rotation. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Empty the breath, hands to the floor blocks. Fold over into pyramid pose, inhale. So we're squaring the hips, exhale, fold over your left leg. There's a tendency I see a lot of times putting weight in the right heel and the left knee bounces backwards behind your hip. So really think about keeping both legs evenly distributing the weight. So putting some more weight into the left big toe here. Take another breath. Good. Bend your knee. Step back, right leg goes into a lunge. Left leg in the air, three-legged. And then place all four paws on the floor. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your knees to the earth. Sit on your heels. Take again your dominant hand on top of your less dominant hand. Take a breath for a moment or two. And just calm the systems down. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, broaden through the collarbones. Find the breath that opens you, expands you, not closes you in. Good. Inhale, open your eyes and stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the floor. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Float your right leg high in the sky, open up the hips. Step the right leg all the way through. Shorten your stance, left leg comes a little bit closer. We're back into this pyramid pose, inhale. And exhale, this time walk your hands out in front of you or on a block. Bend your right knee and put your forehead on your knee. Look upwards towards your belly button. Keep your forehead on your knee even if you can straighten your leg. So the more you straighten, decide, should I be this straight because my head's not touching anymore? Tuck your chin in, forehead to the knees. You've got your three major bandhas active, your Mula Bandha, pelvic lift, your belly, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jalandhara Bandha, your throat lock. So very strong energetically. Arms out in front of you, palms together, cross your thumbs, pinky side resting on the floor. Biceps by the ears, take a breath in, push firmly through both feet, and round your spine to come all the way back up. Exhale, open the arms and just take the arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers, wrist, palms, elbows, or prayer hands up your back. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, halfway down. Halfway down just allows us to level out the pelvis. And then if you can maintain that, take yourself forward. Keep a straight spine. So we just did a rounded spine, and now we're going to do a straight spine. And again, the hips are level, the big toes are pressing firmly. Find your space, find your length. Some of you will go all the way down, some of you will stop halfway or less. Press down to rise up, inhale. Good. Step your feet to the top of the mat, release your arms, stand tall, mountain pose. Haven't been here in a while. Inhale and exhale, close your eyes. Firmly lifting your knees up, grounding through your feet, tailbone tucks underneath you. Inhale, step your right foot back about 2 to 3 feet. So we're entering a different way. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, fold over your left leg. So you have a short stance. Your legs are hips width apart or wider. Walk your hands in front of you. Bend your left knee enough that your forehead will touch it. And that brings your chin to your collarbones. That brings your belly button to your spine. And then walk your hands a little bit more forward and choose to take your palms together. If you're crossing the thumbs, change the position of your thumb, which one's on top. Because we have an habitual side, you'll figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, so be it. Keep your forehead and your knees connected as much as you straighten your legs. So you don't have to straighten your legs, but if you do, keep your head connected. Inhale, draw the navel point up, pull the pelvic floor up. And start to roll up through your spine, coming up to standing. Release your arms down by your side or behind you. Interlace your fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, or take your hands in reverse prayer up your back. Shoulders, hips face the front of your mat. Big toe pressing down. Inhale. Good. Exhale, square your shoulders and hips as you start, a little bit less than halfway. Notice if your hips are squared and your legs are straight. And your spine is straight. Continue, 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 until you can't continue anymore with that long, engaged movement. So it doesn't matter how far you go. It's, what form are you in? What's your shape? Good, fold all the way down. One more breath. Good, empty the breath, release your hands to the floor. Inhale, look forward. We're gonna step back, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Inhale, bring your knees to the earth once again. Keep the knees close together and sit back on your heels. Stretch your arms out in front of you, push your hips back. Inhale, sit on your heels, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hands down. Rise up onto your shins. Again, you can be padded with your knee. We're going to step the right foot forward. Step it forward far enough that your knee is over the ankle and your back leg is down. We started this way. Bring both hands this time on the inside of your foot. Turn your right foot open to the right side. Roll to the outer edges of both feet. Take your right hand and open up your side body to the right. Inhale and exhale. Good. So into the outer hip bands. Not necessarily your happiest place. One more breath. Good. Come on back to center. Turn everything forward. Straighten out your front leg. Toes up, toes down. Reach your arms forward this time. And if that doesn't work for you, you figure out where you need to be. If you need a block to sit on, take a block, place it the long way, right outside your left shin, so when you can come back and sit, you'll be sitting on a block on your sitting bones on the right side. Left knee is bent behind you. Not everybody needs a block, right? Breathe the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. And bring the arms to your foot, wherever it is. Take a strap, a towel, and hold onto your foot, and fold all the way over it. Keep reaching that right hip back while the toes turn up. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, lift yourself up. If you're on the block, just come off of it. Move it out to the side. You might want to use it again later. Tuck the left toes underneath you. Keep your hips low. Downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Good. Inhale, come back to your knees. Sit up on your shins or on your toes. Take your left foot forward and drop your right hip down. Hands on the floor, on the blocks. Just check out your alignment. Make sure your left knee is over the ankle, the heel should not be lifting. And let the hips release down. Good song for this if you can hear the song. I shall be released. That's our hips we're talking to. Bring your hands on the inside of your left leg. Turn both toes onto their edges, on the pinky edges. Left hand to the inner thigh. And just tuck your right hip underneath you. I'm modifying a little bit here, but you guys can just spin it all the way around. Just listen to your body. If you're feeling, any discomfort, don't go so deep. If you feel like you've got openness, go for it. Good. Inhale, come on back to center, hands down, foot down. Begin to straighten your front leg, reach your arms forward. Toes up, toes down, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. And if you think that you're going to need a block to sit on, because now we know where we're going, take it outside your right shin, walk your hands back, and have a seat on the block or on the floor. And just adjust it so your left side sitting bone, both sides might possibly be on it, but particularly your left side. And that's going to give you some levelness to your hips. Inhale, walk your hands forward. And perhaps you find a little bit deeper stretch for your hamstrings on the left side. Wherever your hands want to go, you can hold on to your foot, you can reach forward. Again, pulling left back, right hip forward, breathe in and out. Two more breaths, everybody. Good. Inhale, walk your hands back. Come off your right shin and come into your low lunge. Tuck the back toes, downward dog, last time, breathe. Some days you have a lot of doggies. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and just take yourself through to have a seat on the floor, any which way. Adjust your cameras if you have the opportunity. Have your blocks in your body. Separate your legs, hips width apart, line it up with your sitting bones, hands under your thighs. Lift your chest up. In fact, oh, just the cutest little bunny just ran by me. Bring your knees together with a block in between if you have it. That will help to also engage some bandhas. Bring your chin to your chest and round your spine. Keep rounding your spine. Keep the block between your knees and roll all the way down to the floor. With the block between your knees, release your arms by your side. Bring your heels a little bit closer so your knees in line with your hips, knees in line with your toes, and the block is being supported by your knees. If you don't have a block, but if you have a little Pilates ball, you can use that. Breathe. Tilt your pelvis so your back is on the floor, your pubic bone points up. Push down and lift your hips up. So squeezing the block, notice the action that you have to use to keep the block between your legs. You feel your glutes, outer hips, hamstrings, pushing firmly to your feet. Bring your arms up over your shoulders and over your head so they rest on the floor behind you with your palms facing the ceiling. Press firmly down through your feet, big toe, little toe, ball of the foot, heel, energy. Exhale, release your arms, release your hips. And just let your legs relax. So I want to do that one more time with the block. Squeeze the block between your knees, tilt your pelvis. Push down through your shoulders and feet, lift your hips up off the floor. Big toe presses down. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Lift, lift, lift. I want you just to imprint in your brain the energy that's used to lift the block, to lift the hips with the block between your knees. And then exhale, upper, mid, lower back come down as the arms come down as well. Take the block off to the side. Let's see how our memories are. Let's take a third bridge as if you had the block there, and feel free to keep the block there. I want that same energy in the legs. Lift the hips up. Reach the arms up and overhead. So you're hugging the hips to the center, you're squeezing your glutes, and at the same time, you're pressing your inner thighs close together. At the same time, energetically, it's like you're pulling your legs apart from each other. One more breath, so feel, that's what your bridge should feel like all the time. Exhale, arms down, hips down, and then bring your knees to your chest. So your bridges should always have a tremendous amount of energy from your lower body in particular. Cross the right leg over the left leg, grab ankle, shins, or toes. Open the arms to a T, shift your hips right, let your knees fall over to the left side. If you want a deeper stretch, you can double bind and bring your knees closer to your shoulders. If you want less deep, open up your legs a little bit wider. Uncross your legs, come back to center. Hug your knees in, lift your head and shoulders. Exhale, lower down, left leg over right. Grab the ankles, shins, or toes. Open the arms to a T, legs hip left, hips left, knees fall to the right. let your body be your guide as to how deep you need to take this pose. Good. Undo the legs, come back to center. Hug your knees to your chest, lift your head and shoulders. Take a hold of the bottoms of your feet, big toe or little toe. Head down, legs up, happy baby. Rock your spine. And bring your knees close together. Hold on to your ankles, shins. One more time, lift your head and shoulders. And then stretch your legs straight up in the air. Lay your head down, arms by your side, and begin to lower your legs. As you lower your legs, begin to lengthen them out. Reach the legs all the way out and down. Once they touch the floor, rise up onto your forearms. You can put a block under your shoulder blades or just stay in your fish pose. Very little, if any, weight on your head. Open up your chest, your throat, your heart. That's it. And to come out of this, bring your chin to your chest, roll your chin down. If you need another tucking of the knees to the chest, take it. If not, lay out in your Shavasana pose. So bring your arms by your side, palms open, and allow your hips to split open. And as the sound says, release control. Surrender your body weight to your mat, your thoughts. Kind of an empty thought, but follow the breath. If you need a thought, inhale and exhale. And just sink your body weight into the mat. Let go. If you have the opportunity to stay longer, just turn off the sound and stay on your mats. And then if you're ready to come back, start to move your fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Deepen your breath. Draw your knees to your chest. Take yourself onto either side. Bring yourself to a comfortable seat. Hands to your heart center. Yourselves for showing up, doing the work. And I bow down to you for being here, for sharing your energies, your community, your love of this practice. And Shanti, Shanti, peace, peace, peace to all. Namaste, Sat Nam, go in peace. Have a wonderful day. For those of you at home, stay fit, stay healthy. Get back to it.